Hey everybody, it's John at UMAC. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today we're going to do a family flow mobility training together. We're going to start out with some breathing, which we'll always start out with. We're going to do some joint mobility, then we're going to get into our flow mobility workout. We're going to finish with breathing, then we're going to feel great. So grab a family member, let's get ready to go. Lie flat on our back and get ready for our breathing exercise to begin our workout today. So we're going to contract the diaphragm, and that opens up your abdominal cavity and lets air into the lower lungs, and then the chest raises at the end, fills up the upper lungs. When we exhale through the nose, we reverse that. So our chest will drop, and then our abdominal cavity will relax. You'll see my stomach gets bigger, my abdominal cavity, and then my chest expands. And then my chest relaxes, and then my abdominal cavity will relax. You just go at your own pace, nice and relaxed, through your nose. Just oxygenating the blood. Get ready for some fun training. All right, well, here we go. We're going to start out on our knees, nice straight back, and we're going to start out with some joint articulations or joint mobility. We'll look left and right. Keep your back very straight, your abdomen contracted slightly, and we're only going to move the neck. Shoulders will stay nice and straight. We look up and down. The same idea with our spine. Try to keep it straight, shoulders back slightly. We're doing our best just to move the cervical vertebrae or the neck. Now we're going to drop our ear to the same side shoulder. Breathing the whole time, in and out through the nose. Neck circles. We'll do 3 each side here. Just to warm up everybody, to feel nice and relaxed here. Now we're going to roll those shoulders back. Still keeping our spine pretty straight, only working those shoulder joints. We'll roll them forward, keep breathing. Rotate the arms in the shoulder joints by doing this little Egyptian movement. It looks like an Egyptian dance. And we'll roll the wrists each direction, and we'll open up the fingers and make fists. Let's go to our feet. We're going to keep the hips fairly still and rotate the upper body in circles around the hips. You can keep your feet kind of close together, or feel free to move them apart a little bit. This really is such an individual way to work out. We stay together, but you're going to find little areas that are going to make you, where you need to work on a little bit. Just feels good. And now we're kind of keeping the head and the feet in line, and we're swiveling the hips around. Hands will drop to our knees. Ankles are rolling. Warming up those knee joints, our ankle joints, our feet. We're going to turn so I can show how we're going to keep the ball of one foot on the ground. Just warming up those toes and the ankle. Great job. We're getting ready to rock here, literally. So let's start our rocking nice and easy. Rounded spine, head stays off the ground. You can hold on to your knees or not, it's completely up to you. We're going off the center of our spine. And we're gonna reach whatever feels good. Wherever you are today, you can double reach, single reach out to one direction, twist a little bit more. Looks like you're reaching up to put something on a shelf. Doing little circles with my rock. Here we're doing a butterfly, stretch, and extending or pushing the chest out to extend the spine. Breathing the whole time. In through the nose, out through the nose. All right, time to go to our hands and knees for a cat-cow stretch. So we're going to hunch the back up and drop the head. And then we drop the chest and lift the head up, looking up. So exhale and inhale. In through the nose and out through the nose as much as possible. If you find that you need to exhale or even inhale through the mouth, getting a little bit winded, totally fine. Much better to breathe in and out through the nose, though, if possible. Now we're rotating the spine around, side to side, waving it. Getting the hips involved a little bit, the neck is still involved. Just moving wherever it feels good. Start on our knees and then go to a half kneeling stretch. This stretches the muscles we call the hip flexors. They flex our hip, of course. You step out though, you can step out and reach if you'd like. And you can change where you step out. Wherever you feel like you might want to just try it out a little bit. Keep your hands on your lap if you want or on your quadricep. And if it doesn't feel good to sit back on your knees like this, then don't sit back on them. If you need a pillow under your knees, that's fine too. Stretching, we sit back, it's a hamstring stretch. Those are the muscles on the back of our leg. Flexor, hamstring, flexor, and back. Great. Call this a shin box with windshield wipers. Go up on the knees, we switch the feet, we sit back. Hands can go on the ground in front of you. You never want anything to hurt, but you will see some improvements if you're a little bit tight. Just go at a nice pace, and here I'm coming all the way up, stretching the hip flexors again here, switching the feet, sitting back down. Hands back to the ground, just working those windshield wipers back and forth. Again, whatever feels good. All right, now we're going to take this into a little circle. This might be a little challenging if you haven't done it before, if you're newer to this. And you can always put your hands on the ground. Switch directions. People are always so surprised that they can do this after they practice a little bit though. It's a little bit odd at first. Just a movement that most of us haven't done before. Moving your feet, and your hips, and knees, and all that stuff. so good for your joint mobility. Alright, this is called getting up in base. Self-defense style, but we're going to use it with a little strength training in there by doing a squat, an air squat. We sit down, both hands on the ground, foot lands behind our back hand. We do a squat, both hands back to the ground. Feel free to pause the video and practice any of these moves. Here we're skipping back just a little bit. Now a little rock and a skip back. So ninja get up. Remember, anybody can do this and everyone should. Modifications are the name of the game. Here's some challenging move, but we all can do this. We're going to go down into a plank. You can do this on your elbows or on your hands. Keep the abdominals tight. You can lift the legs, we can lift the arms. I'm just going to show a few leg raises and then a side bend. You can do the side bend on your elbow, both feet on the ground, one knee on the ground, or instead of the elbow, you can try coming up to the hand. You can just switch these around all the time. Abdominals stay contracted. Both feet on the ground if you'd like. Awesome job. All right, we'll do a little sit roll with a step and stretch. Roll to the other side, step, step, roll to the other side. Just stepping and stretching down. I'm gonna add a push-up in right ahead, or just hold it for a minute. Man, not a minute, maybe a few seconds. Knee, roll it over, right to an elbow plank, up to a hand plank, step, step, and roll. Push up, step, step, and roll. We're going to work the abdominals now. Let's get the feet off the ground. See if you can balance on your hip bones. And just move side to side. Just play with this position a little bit. Keep the legs bent, straighten them out. Move your arms around, twist side to side. Rocking, bringing the knees up in the air. A little rock and crunch. And back up. I can't emphasize enough to just make this your own kind of fun workout. Absolutely not necessary to stay with me. Doing bicycle kicks here. And of course, keep breathing. Awesome job. Bring the knees apart on here, and we'll do this child pose with the knees apart. We'll split child pose, and we'll bring the knees together and up. Some of you know this as upward dog or a cobra. So we'll exhale, inhale, exhale. We're bringing our spine into flexion here. We're back in that child pose, and now extension. We're in that cobra. It's going to go back and forth. These come apart when you sit back, and we bring them together as we get into the cobra stretch. Exhale at the end of each range of motion. Exhale at the end, and now we're going back and forth, making it a little bit more dynamic. All right, here's our bear walk with a little sit through. Now we're bringing it all the way around. Call this a box drill. The 4 points of contact on the ground, kind of like a square. That's why I call it a box drill, but we're sitting through, feet keep going underneath. You can switch direction. Move around a little bit. You guys got this. And we're going to finish off with some breathing. Same drill we did earlier. My hands are going to be in my abdominal cavity and up in my chest. This way I can tell if I'm bringing air in through the lower lungs, my abdominal cavity is expanding, and then my chest expands after. As I exhale, my chest relaxes, and then my abdominal cavity relaxes. So we take it in through the lower lungs, finish with the upper lungs. We exhale, we let the upper lungs relax, the chest relaxes, the abdominal cavity will relax. In through the nose, out through the nose. Such an amazing job, everybody. I always like to begin and end with breathing exercises. It's always a pleasure to do these workouts. Know that somebody else is doing them with me. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. We'll see you again very, very soon.